Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm making this video, I'm sorry, I apologize. I've been trying to get this done, but, I Googled earlier about, today is February 1st, 2026. So I asked Google about Punxsutawney Phil tomorrow. I asked if, Punxsutawney Phil seen his shadow on February 2nd, 2026. And that's what I got. Punxsutawney Phil did not see his shadow on February 2nd, 2026, predicted an early spring. The famous groundhog emerged from his burrow at Gobbler's Knob around 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time to make this prediction. The event marked only the 21st time in 138 years of tradition that he did not see his shadow. 2026 prediction: no shadow, early spring. Location: Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, Gobbler's Knob. Tradition: the event held annually on February 2nd and features the prediction since 1987. Shoot. Anyway, I mean, right? Only 21st time in 138 years. No shadow, early spring. Tradition, the event. There were no conflicting reports early spring 2026. But how crazy is this? Seriously. Like, it blows my mind. Anyway, we'll have to see if this matches tomorrow. And yeah, I did ask about the Powerball numbers and I didn't get anything. So, but seriously, this is crazy. Something's going on. Things are happening. They have been for some years now. I've noticed them. I believe in the Mandela effect or areas of it. I believe something larger than just. I mean, I understand why the girl or woman named the Mandela effect and stuff, but there's a lot going on as things. As we go further, second by second into the future, I think a lot more is going to happen more vividly for everybody, more real, more like no, or maybe people won't notice. Maybe there's only a number of us that really just this stuff comes out to us like bang. I don't know why, it just does, because there's a rift. There's something off. And the majority of the people, I feel, just don't see it. They're not a part. They're like a video game, and the non players there, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, just like the sheep or the drones. And I don't mean to be mean, and I'm not trying to be, so I'm not going to call people like that sheep. But, and they're not insignificant at all. Then, it's just they don't see it. And if you really look at everything, the thing is it's not so much this or that in the event of things really going on that maybe people are causing to happen. Then they probably want to know more about why we are not affected like them. Think about that. Why is there a small number of people, no matter how many times they've gone through this and done it, or whatever's going on, why are we not affected? How come we could still remember, or whatever? Like, something happened a long time ago. We fell asleep, basically, and it's not gone forever, or whatever, or maybe it is. I don't know. But, kind of look at it like, if you remember, okay, if it happened and you remember, there's got to be a way for other people to remember, in a sense, like to connect, to make that connection or whatever. Like Stefan Burns, he's been talking about this. He's a smart, very highly intelligent guy. He's right. I've been saying for years, like with Mr. MBB333 and different people, there's correlations with the sun and the earth and volcanic eruptions and earthquakes and other things when we have a solar flare or coronal mass ejection when it hits. I studied it for years, and it's almost instant. Boom. There's a CME, and it's like right after a major earthquake. Maybe it's not major, like an 8.5 or whatever, like I've seen, or a 7.5, 7.8, right after, bang. Like, it's crazy. But there's correlations there. It's been, it's just, people are hiding data and information and different things. And there's just some of us that know the information's not being shared. It's not there. And we know that there's this piece of information that's lacking, okay? Because the answer that they give or whatever isn't good enough. It just doesn't. In some cases, like, like, man, I know there's more, and maybe you know exactly what it is. That's happened many a times. But more in the sense of, there's more data to that one thing, and not because science and I'm a scientist and this and that, and nothing to do with that. You just know you're being lied to and misinformed, There's a riff. It's split. It's fractured. Like a veil. And like these planes or whatever they are, we're our planes or timelines and different things are weaving together and starting to weave in and out of each other, perhaps crossing over one another. Things are getting messy and messed up. I feel, or believe anyway, maybe more so believe, that CERN is a big factor in part of this. The Mandela effect, definitely, because that's a key area or a time frame of when they were firing it up, and then all of a sudden things started changing, and like noticeably, like, what? Like, I'd be noticing different things, and like, no, not a person I talk to. No, what? And you feel kind of like, am I fucking crazy? And you're not, you're not, but you gotta question it because, well, it seems everybody I talk to is saying the opposite. No, that's not happening. The sun was setting, and 15 years ago, I started noticing the sun setting. I could feel it, okay? I could feel like the sun wasn't setting in the right place. Not because I studied it. On this date, it should be here and here and here, and every day I'm out there for the last 20 years writing down coordinates and where the sun should be. No, I could feel it. And I noticed a change in the color. It used to be a golden yellow, and now it's white, or whiter, definitely. It no longer warms like it once did. I used to go swimming when in the 80s as a teenager, and you lay on the rocks and it felt good. It was warm. That sun felt good. It was warm, and it was yellow, golden yellow. And now it's more just white, with starting to develop a blue tint to it. And then these ancient Indians, talked about this blue Kachina star, that was like, it was blue. Anyway, I don't remember much exactly about that, but they called it the blue Kachina or whatever. Now, I don't know if they were referring to our sun, and I'm not sure if it was the Hopi Indians or something, but they were talking about the blue Kachina. Now, I don't know if it came, which good, or if it was our sun that turned blue. Now, which there's, the connections of the sun again and everything, and the moon and whatever, but the planets. If the sun was to turn more blue, that means it's obviously not in the solar maximum, right? It would be more than likely during a solar minimum or a grand solar minimum, which I believe and I know is coming. all of a sudden now, we're starting to get this drop-off. Last year and now this year. Major cold, deep south, like Tampa. Oh, well, all right, yeah, it was in Florida last year too. Okay, so it's 2 years in a row. News doesn't talk about it. The weather people on TV and stations, they don't mention the cold. They mention, oh, it was hot. It was 4 degrees warmer over here today than it was last year or the 50 years before. Oh, my God. It's global fire. And, okay, yeah. Is there weather patterns and stuff that are happening? Climate change? Yeah. It's been around forever. Will be around way after I'm gone and way after everybody else will, unless the Earth's not here no more. But the climate change, because the climate changes. And I'm not talking about spring, summer, fall, and then winter, but climate change as a whole on the planet. And now, and I remember about the Greenland ice core data sets and different things, and reading that as it got hot, all of a sudden it would get hot before an ice age. And as this heat came, it was gradual. So over a period of 7 years or 10 years or whatever, it would gradually get hotter and hotter and hotter. Gradual hotness. Or whatever. Maybe it was longer. And then all of a sudden, there's this drop-off in the temperature. Into mini ice age events or ice age events. The Maunder Minimum. Those paintings, Oppenheimer Ranch pointed that out years back. I started watching his channel like 15 years ago, whatever. Because of the things in common. I knew things were changing and things were happening and things are coming about. Now it's a bunch of everything, and but I was watching him and he mentioned it. It was the first person that mentioned it that I noticed prior to. And when he mentioned it, it was it. And different things, but it was a big connection for me to his channel. Was those pictures of people ice skating on the Thames River in England. The Thames don't freeze over. Not in 300 years. Or whatever it's been. 300-400 years. Every 300-400 years we have a mini ice age, guys. It's real. It happens. There's a lot of data that's just kept from us. They don't want to tell us why, because it's part of their control. It's wrong? Yes. Is it bullshit? Damn right. We should have the same right to this information that they do, because they want to run a different thing, a different agenda. The CIA, they came out in the 1960s talking about the coming mini ice age or whatever, however they worded it, but it was an ice age that was coming. And then something happened so many years into it, like they got quiet and that kind of went away. But this stuff's real, it's happening, and it's going to continue to happen. And it's getting worse. The other thing I wanted to mention real quick, and I'm done, is the Roman Empire. I mean, these guys talk about this stuff. Roman Empire, the Qing Dynasty or whatever, I'm tired, I'm just really tired. But these collapses, global collapses, and of course the food comes, and that usually does it in the cold. But without food, you just don't survive. So but Rome and all these, and there's always this turmoil and stuff that takes place with people, not a few people, but globally. There's all this stuff goes on. I can't remember if there's a correlation with that, with other things and stuff, but it's to do with the coming ice age, man. Or ice age like events, or different times when these things happen and then these other things took place right after or right during that time. Look at the world. Look at the state of the world, political, because there's a lot of fallout coming, guys. We're not going to be trusted anymore. Can't chance it. We wouldn't. I wouldn't. Nobody could chance being involved or following a country, a world leader, to get slapped back down, whether it's through tariffs or this or that or whatever, just not, your people not being cared about. And all governments, most of them, fail to understand that it's about the people, not the rich, not the extremely poor or the people in the center. It's about all the people. People make up empires. People make up villages. For them to grow, it takes the people. You know, they're so eager to take the money and everything. And money, who cares? Money's money. You know, it's nothing. It is. It's absolutely nothing. Money is, you know, and I know, oh, well, people that say that, or they don't care about money, never had it. I've had it. You know, it could be bad. It could be good. It could, you know, if you can lift people up out of poverty, if our government would do it, it'd be great. Now, I hate to mention China and throw it as a comparison, but I've been talking about China since the 80s. They've been growing, you know. Oh, wait, boom, boom, they got through it, boom, bang. You know, they're growing. They're doing awesome because they're lifting the people with them. Because the government knows they can't do it without the people, you know. As I feel, forgot that a long time ago. It's crazy. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. If you happen to watch this video, thank you very much. I'm sorry about it being 16, 17 minutes long. I didn't mean for it to be. But Punxsutawney Phil did not see his shadow on February 2nd, 2026. And it is, 8:59 p.m. No, it's 6, sorry, that was this morning. It's 6:27 p.m. I'll show you right here. Sunday, February 1st. That's today, guys. Sunday, February 1st, 2026. So, if this comes to be true, wouldn't that be something? Have a good night. Thank you for watching. Take care, everybody. Thumbs up. Subscribe. Please. Thank you.